When I began this battle, my soul was so damn fragile. I was looking at life through a fog. I lost my baby girl and they killed my dog. I was laying on the bottom feeling sad, thinking about doing bad things, raging fucking mad. I couldn't understand why I was chosen. Then it led to my rage and explosion. I am the one who can make this better. It's my job to make things right. I need to pick myself up. It's time for my biggest fight. Wrap your kids in the Bible. Wrap your kids in the flag. CPS is from the devil. Y'all know that it's a fact. I'm a father that went to jail. I cherish my daughter. It was nothing when they come for her and me. There should have been a slaughter. Stand with us. Make parenting great again. Abolish CPS. Ambush with the black SUVs. They come armed, they came for me, and they came for her. Stand with us, make parenting great again, abolish CPS. They took her from me, she's across the state. Gone for a year now, taken away. All these people who have written me off, I'm here to show my face and tell you you're wrong. I never was as good as you, and for the record we know that's not true. I'm not trying for a comparison. How dare you, you're embarrassing. I don't wanna be as good as anyone else. I fight this battle, I fight for myself. I am the one who can make this better. It's my job to make things right. I need to pick myself up. It's time for my biggest fight. I don't care about your judgment, I'm glad you gave us this test. But when your life is over, will your heart sleep quietly in your chest? I've got more life to live. As a matter of fact, it's just beginning. I've been given a challenge and my daughter is waiting. It's a fight I can't walk away from, a new life we are creating. So why you sit there mouth full of hating? Be sure my mind is planning on invading. I've got a war to fight and I'm on. I won't give up, I need to win, this is bigger than you. I don't expect you to understand. I am the one who can start over. It's my job to make things right. I need to pick myself up. It's time for the biggest fight. I won't be left behind. This is the time, I call it mine. Step out of the way unless you wanna play. Trump, stand with us. Make parenting great again. Abolish CPS. There is no time for bickering. The clocks are flickering. Pick up your weapon and join me. If not, go back to ignoring me. I will be on top. Pistol going pop, pop. Money falling from my pockets. You'll still be lying on dockets. So fuck you.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title IV says, reunify at all costs, united We stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the line.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you.
In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPUFist.com is leading the way. Join us.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I'm your host, the CPS Punisher, and this is Tuesday night edition. We got the chats as always right here on the right-hand side of me. So make sure you guys leave some messages there. See what you guys got to talk about, what you're going to say. Vinny's out tonight for a little while. I said he was going to be in here late. I think Brenda's back there. I don't know if Brenda wanted to come out and join me. She's more than welcome to if she'd like to. But we're going to have like a free-for-all Tuesday night, guys. Let's just talk. Not that we don't always kind of do this, say what's on our minds and what we're doing. But do you guys have anything that you guys want to talk about out there? Anything that you guys have questions that come up? Things that you might not get a chance to talk about normally on the show, or we don't talk about normally? If you guys want to go ahead and leave some questions that you want for me to answer, that would be fine by me. Let's go. Let's do this, people. Let's get it up there. Let's get a show going out of this. I'm going to bring Brenda out here with me in a second. We'll get her out there. I got Tiff and the Punisher apparel is almost finished. Tomorrow we should have that for you guys. So that'll be cool. And some CPS Victims Hunting Justice apparel. We'll have that available for you guys tomorrow, and then there's more to come. Everybody that has shows here will all have their own apparel, and that way you guys can show your support for the channel by doing that, buying some clothes that represent. That way we're trying to get something, like we're giving you guys something, you get something out of it too. A little bit of a way for us to raise money here on the show. So we do that. Also, we don't ever really do this, but if you guys didn't notice, we have this here. We don't really put this one up very often, but that there is if you guys want to support the stream. We have the QR code right here. You can click on that, and then we'll set it up for you, and you can go ahead and do that. But we have the kids or keep your kids safe shirts right here. These are always a hit right here. These guys. I don't know what the prices are on them. Because everything's being the Making America Great Again hat. That's coming back for this line of stuff. Just like the red Trump hats. Let them know that they're being recorded. These are signs, guys, that you can hang up in your house. All different signs that say you have been warned, you are being recorded. It's got the CPS logos and stuff down there. Come on. Got to keep this one in here. This was one of my favorite ones that I designed. The Trump Fight t-shirt. That will be available. And there's also CPS Victims Trump shirts as well. And then I don't know if I'm going to keep this one or not. But what do you guys think? You guys like the Abolish CPS hoodie? That's the old one when the site was abolishcps.com. We're changing that now. So, but that's the sweatshirt for then. So that's pretty much the lineup of some of the old stuff that we'll be bringing back. You guys, so look forward to that stuff. Or when you're clicking through them here, you guys can click on the QR code and see those. Let's see what Brenda's up to. Let's talk to Brenda. Brenda, what's up?
Hello, am I here? Am I in?
You're here with me.
I was just gonna type in, hi Debbie. Hey, hey Tim. Oh yeah, it's been a minute. I'm back home. Like I just can't get it together when I'm not.
Rick Martin in the MF freaking house. Are you kidding me?
What?
Mr. Martin, get on this show with us. I've been trying to get a hold of you for months. You want to get in here, Rick? That man there is the constitutional legend. Are you kidding me that he's watching us right now?
Well, hey, come on down.
My man, damn. He shouldn't be watching. He needs to be in this thing. We need some Rick Martin on this stuff. Damn.
Man, I had some kind of adventure. Yeah, I was finding out some. I ended up talking to this an elderly lady that knows about the corruption going on in the family courts, and I mean her shop is right across the street from the courthouse. She's 90 years old. I mean, this lady has some stories. I'm telling you.
So she knows all about it?
Yeah, she knows all about it. I mean, she said, and also that she has this little thrift store slash, they give away clothes and they give away food, whatnot. And her and her sister that I knew, I just met this lady, but I knew her sister because I used to work there. And she was also very old. And the thing is they were kids when their parents first started this. Like her grandmother started it, I think it was. And then now she's like, the sheriff's going to take the city's going to take this away from me. They're just going to, she says, when I'm gone, it'll be like, this will be gone. Everything, all they worked for all their life will be gone because it's just a sad situation. But the other weird thing that happened to me, guys, again, I went by my old house once more time. Remember, I was going by there last summer, and this is where all this commotion, where some man said that I had a gun in my car, which I did not, and I was thrown in jail. But in any case, it's almost like, who's got the vendetta against me? Is what I'm thinking, But in any case, or my husband. But the thing is then now, this beautiful home, I mean, you can look up this 1415 Northeast 364th Avenue and see the beautiful 2-story house in 2018 that we sold. This place is now burnt down. When I'm freaking going by there, I mean, these people got something to hide, and there's something to this, I'm telling you. But that bus I told y'all about that was out back, like the story in Dixie County is someone seen children chained up in an emptied out bus. There was a bus behind my old house, and that bus wasn't burnt out. It had to be pulled out of there because it wasn't even there at all. And I was like, whoa. Wow. Because there's all this bamboo growing around there. It must have been pretty difficult to burn. But hey, the only thing that still stood on the house is just the metal roof. It was the kids' room. So that was pretty weird. But anyway.
Check it out. Who do we got with us right now? The man himself. We got Rick Martin in the house with us.
Rick Martin's in the house.
Man himself is in the house. Rick, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, busy as always. It's been extremely exciting. As a matter of fact, I've been in contact with Cash Patel, and Pam Bondi.
Oh,
So
good.
it's
They're lifting up. They're tearing up the house, man.
yeah, we've got a lot of things that are happening, and I can't really get into too much discussion because we don't want to tip off people.
Uh-oh, see? We're losing them right away.
Yeah, there they
Big
go
brother.
with them attacking us right off.
Well, like I said, we got a lot going on right now all across the nation. And if you haven't been paying attention to some of the things that Donald Trump has been saying about constitutional law,
Yeah, he said he's better know your constitution. Yep.
and
He's bringing that back.
to those. Now, I'm going to remind you that there's actually 3 constitutions out there, and you'll have to get those from me. I can actually show you all 3 of them.
Hell yeah. Let's do it, Rick.
I tell you what, give me send me a quick email, and I'll email for a copy over to you,
Yep.
and then you can post them up on the site.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be great.
Right on me.
I know there's a lot of people fighting are on our side. I'm telling you, they're on our side and they're in it to win it. So come on, guys. That's what I'm saying. If anything, everybody's got to get it together. And if there's anybody, I'm telling you, this federal attorney is going to be filing. I believe these judges have to be arrested, and that is the only answer for me.
You can nail them for treason. And there's another thing that I'll get into in a minute that I'm actually studying more in depth now. I'm waiting to see if your email came in. I can't see you guys, but you guys can see and hear me, I believe.
Yeah, we got you, Rick. We can hear you.
Okay.
I see you. I just sent the email to you. I sent a test with it.
Okay. I haven't received it yet. I just keep refreshing it. But in the meantime, yeah, that was a major deal. You guys know that with what we were doing, we got a lot of major players involved when we got into the child trafficking going on, and I started uncovering that back in 2015 and 16. And we did have some good people working in the FBI, and that was what was her name, Patricia, at the the Corpus Christi office. Was working with me, and then we started getting all the evidence into the hands of the Attorney General Lieutenant Lucas in the Attorney General for Texas office. Started getting him into what was going on, and a lot of big players are in this. This is Epstein. Everybody says Epstein. It's actually pronounced Epstein.
Well, one thing I did want to say is it's kind of strange. He mentions 2015, 2016. This is when my children were taken, and I've met quite a few people that had their children taken in that same year. It's kind of weird, in Florida, especially Florida. But anyway.
Yeah, well, it's been going on for quite some time. It just so happened to one of my underlings, a staff sergeant, had his daughter stolen. And that's when he called me up and says, LT, they've stolen my daughter. And I said, well, what are you talking about, Jay? And I went down to Padre Island, and that's when I started my investigation. And that's when I started uncovering things that I can't even get into. And, they even have CPS even has a hit list. And these poor families don't defend themselves in court. And they have a
copy of our hit list. I mean, we have a copy. They have, it's called a Fusion Exchange Bulletin. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, not a problem at all. I'm going to try to get this over to you guys here in just a second of the 3 constitutions.
What do you know about those Fusion Exchange Bulletins, Rick?
Say again?
The Fusion Exchange Bulletins that Brenda talks about all the time.
I have not been in line and up to date with a lot of stuff because I've got so much on my plate right now. And, I don't know if you're aware that, Michigan's still hunting for me. So, but what we've
I heard you're still on you heard you're on.
Oh, hold on. Getting to my site here, and I'm having difficulties.
Well,
Yeah,
the
they're
thing
doing
is,
it to us.
they're rushing some parents because I mean I know especially two different parents that are in jail, and my husband is a veteran as well as everything else he had going on for him, no criminal record whatsoever. He's in the same judge that sentenced my husband to 15 years in prison for a cartoon post of political satire, and was the same judge that feels threatened by this cartoon was the same judge that took my two youngest children. So, and it all happened, all this stuff happened when my husband started to run for sheriff in 2016. So
Interesting.
yeah.
And I think your husband running for sheriff was probably, I hate to say it, probably what said deep state, but I'm going to tell you who they really are. They're called the Pilgrim Society, and they were established in 1902. All right. Let's see if I can get this to work. I'm having computer issues already.
Yeah, they do it to us here, Rick, all the time. The Pilgrim Society, you say?
Yes, it was the Pilgrim Society, and I even have a list of all their members from then all the way up till yesterday.
Wow.
Wealth of knowledge because I definitely do my homework.
I just probably Jason Katz is on this list. I tell you, this man is the sure evil. Wow.
Well, like I said, we've got a list of a lot of the evildoers out there, and always keep remembering. And I know Darren knows what I'm saying when I say this is a battle between good and evil, and you've got to look at it that way. This is a spiritual warfare, and we've gained a lot of ground. Okay, and it's not just that Donald Trump got in office. It took a lot of pain. And I'm going to say that, like with the scamdemic, that's what took me away from going after the child traffickers, and it almost felt like it was put in my way, the scamdemic, when we started coming out on that it was fraud, and kind of losing my place here. But what's going on right now? Momentum. And what needs to come out, like the 9/11, okay? Richard Gage is all of a sudden people are starting to listen to him, and I was one of the guys that Donald Trump even said, here's a structural engineer. Right after the buildings collapsed, we all said bullshit. We said bullshit. I'm a demolition expert, and it takes months of planning to do that. And I mean,
a whole 2.5 hour video on that.
Oh yeah, Richard Gage, he's done a great job on what he's done, and they actually have a movie that's going to be coming out. Or actually, I think they already got a documentary out. So look for it.
George Bush violated his oath of office.
Every one of them. Realize all these presidents were as crooked as get out. And
every one of them.
There's so much I've got to get to you, my friend. There's so much I don't want to get it off on all kinds of tangents, but
we'd be here all night, bro.
I've got
you know exactly the information that I know. Yep.
No, I've actually spent this is back in December. I've got transcripts of the judges meeting. We're talking about chief justices talking to district.
Yeah, you seem to have more of the the detailed information that I don't have.
Right. Well,
I
I
got the basics of it.
got a recording that was secretly recorded, and I listened to the recording, and I was up all night long transcribing it, who was saying what and what was being said. And I can send you the transcript of that. Don't make me go wicked for it. But so much information I've got to get in your hands. And I don't want to take up your show. I wanted to come in and say I was thinking about you. So when I saw you arrive tonight, I said, let me jump on, because I've got to get some major documents in your fingertips so you can run with it.
All right, I'm down with that.
Darren, you got to give him my email or give it to me or whatever. Brenda
I will do-
91@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'll email it to you too, Rick.
Sure. I mean, this is it, man. We guys can't sit back anymore. This is it. All right.
We cannot sit on the fence no more.
Well, when we're in a battle between good and evil, you can't be a fence rider on this. You're either going to pick one side or the other. And, you know, those that do nothing are just as bad as those that do the evil.
A good man who does nothing is evil enough. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Stand against tyranny. And one of the things I was pushing, you're probably going to hear it go viral, I'm hoping it does, is I was saying, you know, we keep saying make America great again. I said, why don't we make America God's nation again?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because
One thing I will say, this is the first time I've ever seen a president when he's sitting in the Oval Office and he's signing the orders or whatever they were doing, and he had his whole cabinet, or he had a cabinet meeting, he had all his whole cabinet there, and they took a prayer, and I just thought for a second, I said, you know, somebody who's anti-Christian isn't going to pray to the Christian God during their meeting.
This is what we say.
So that just throws the whole Antichrist being Donald Trump thing out the window.
I don't know if you
At
can
least
see
for
that.
me.
The screen says "Make parenting great again." That's what we say here.
Yeah, make life great again. I mean, it's up to you to do it. Can't nobody do it but you. That's who's going to make this country great again, is the people.
absolutely, and that's the power is supposed to be in the hands of the people, and we're supposed to be a self-governing people. Keep that in mind. I've been preaching that for years.
That'd be sovereign. You're to be sovereign to be self-governing. That's what sovereign means.
Yeah, you're self-governing people, and you know we're all basing everything on the laws of nature, and nature's God. That's what we're going on, the law of our Creator. And as long as we're doing no harm, we always go back to the common law. And common law means it's under everyone's common understanding.
And it seems to me that these corrupt individuals are doing the opposite. Wouldn't you say so?
Well, with the United States, it was. I've actually another thing that you guys want to look up. Okay, while I'm still on, is go write this one down. It's George Gleason Bogart, and Bogart is with an E and not an A. It's not Bogart, it's Bogart. George Gleason Bogart, and this was published March 21st, March 21st, 1921. Okay, and it's the Handbook Law of Trust. This is a very important book because this is before the Bankruptcy Act of March 9, 1933. And the reason why it's important, it's way before, and it talks about the trusts, okay, all the different trusts, and how it even talks about your cestacate trust. It talks about all the things that you want to know. It's 700 pages long, so I cannot send it other than in a zip file, which I'm having difficult putting it in. But I've been reading.
Thank you for being the only one I've ever found to provide information on.
Well, that's what Constitutional Law Group has been here for, is to educate others to educate others. And the
that's excellent.
And that's, it's all about taking correct action. Just because you take action doesn't mean it's a correct one. So
Yes.
we've done a lot of things, and some things that we did in the early days of the Constitutional Law Group were just trial and error because we were the only ones that were willing to try something. I mean, how many other, back during the whole scamdemic, we're the first ones that went after all the governors for the shutdown with our mass tort claims. And then we started.
They silenced me during the scandemic.
Well,
you're spreading medical disinformation.
Well, it's when I went after the governor of, and I actually filed charges, mass tort claims, and I know Darren can back me up on this. I paid $400 out of my pocket to file against each governor a mass tort claim, charging them under Section 802 of the Patriot Act, which is not Patriot, but you're going to use your own rules against them, and we charged them under the definition. We charged them under the definition. Each governor, except for Kristi Noem of South Dakota, she was the only governor we did not charge with domestic terrorism as defined under Section 802 of the Patriot Act. And the only once, and that was against Governor Baker of Massachusetts. And you guys see me giving that speech out there. The only ones that were allowed in that courthouse was my team wearing our logo shirts. And we're the ones allowed in the courtroom, in the courthouse, without putting a diaper on their face. They knew who I was. They were not going to fight with me. They were like, you go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead. And then when we got into recess, and I think, Darren, you remember me talking about this, when we have over 5,000 people waiting outside the courthouse. We got officers from Homeland Security, Secret Service, all surrounding this courthouse. And I came out during the recess, and I pretty much said how the cow ate the cabbage, and I said the judge better rule on this correctly, or we're going after the judge. When we returned to the courthouse, the judge came back with this ruling. Well, there's so much information here. I need to suspend my ruling until I can digest this information. We never
continuous.
Yeah, just totally blew this whole thing away because he was chicken shit to make a ruling.
That's exactly why.
And so if anybody ever read the Fauci dossier, which I can get your hands also, the Fauci, we already had the evidence of the scamdemic long before the shutdowns and long before they even admitted what it was. We already had pictures of.
Right, so now I got the World Health Organization.
Pictures of the vials of injections dated at 2018 for the COVID-19 injections. We're not going to vaccines, by the way. But
no, let's not talk that. They'll throw us out of here.
Yeah.
Now, you'd be surprised at how much information I can get in your hands. And we've got people working on the child trafficking aspect right now. And with as many of these invaders that came in, it just was there to make things even more difficult to track the offspring when we don't even know that they're missing. Even if they're.
And Darren, the reason you can't talk about the V word most of the time on YouTube is because of the World Health Organization, because they labeled it medical disinformation. But now like what he's talking about, they came out with oh yeah, it really was orchestrated. It really was a constructed hoax. But then it's like they're gonna do what they're gonna do, man. But at least now the World Health Organization won't be trying to silence you halfway across the world. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt everyone.
No, the information we have the evidence to back it up, and we have all their own documents that we FOIA'd way before all this stuff went down. And it was not produced in the Wuhan lab. It came out of the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and we've got all the evidence. And then when they were getting, yeah, we do. And then when they were getting research, they sent it over there with all the funding to Wuhan.
Red flag, red flag. Flag on the plate. Yeah.
But yeah,
man, I believe you.
And
I believe you.
The whole scamdemic, child trafficking doubled like 300% during all that shutdown stuff.
Well, during the pandemic is when they locked me up for trying to rescue my daughter back in 2019. And while I was locked up is when they adopted my children after strangers. Yeah, April 1st, 2020.
Which they got paid for doing.
Yeah, exactly. You know how Trump says he's superstitious. He doesn't like to do things on like April 1st. He's not going to do it on April 1st because they'll be mocking that. Well, it seems like throughout my entire case, they were like mocking us. Like the days they would arrest us for whatever stupid, unlawful reason, Black Friday, for instance, my kids' birthdays, like it's like constant.
Oh, as I said, I've seen the horrors and videos and photographs that are just they'll give you nightmares of how evil and satanic these people are.
Yeah.
And
Well, is there any way, like, because a lot of us like have been in it for so long, and we're at the point where we want to know if any of these pictures or any of these films that you guys have my children in it, because I believe that they're trafficked for whatever reason, and this is what ultimately what is our goal is our children want to be with us. They're now young adults, and
if you want to know the reason why they're after everybody's kids, all you got to do is look in the patent office.
Well, especially children with delays. I mean, my daughter's 21, but she she has Angelman syndrome, whatever.
Hi, Jermaine.
They're making more money on it.
Yeah,
2.2 million.
Most of the kids that have autism and stuff, it's all starting to come out, especially now that Kennedy's in, that they're vaccine injured, and what happened in 1986 is they got free reign. They can't be held accountable. I mean,
Kennedy knows that they're putting stuff in our food.
Oh yeah, and we still have the chemtrails are still going. Those have got to stop.
And our water.
And yeah, the fluoride in the water, and God knows what else. If you were to test the water, you'll find
heavy metals.
All kinds of stuff. I mean, and then you find, drugs, because what they do that doesn't go through the filtering process, they reclaminate the water. I mean, they go to the sewage plants and clean out the water is what they do, and then they're putting it back into your water system.
Hear that, Mary?
It's called water reclamation. So the drugs that people are taking are still getting into the water sources because they're not being filtered out. You're not drinking. It's called water reclamation.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to you about that, Rick, on another different time.
Sometimes you wonder.
I got to talk to you about that.
If you look at the United States, the land is barren because all the nutrients have been taken out of the soil and not been put back. Because we've grown accustomed to this mass-produced life, such as this can of corn here.
Monocropping definitely destroys the soil. And
that would be Monsanto did this to you.
Several different things. Even without doing that, we're not replenishing. One thing that we didn't learn, especially from the Native Americans, especially when you had the Three Sisters, that was very well known, of growing things together and not disturbing the soil and actually not robbing it.
Did you know there's a
fact,
natural remedy
if you go behind it?
Manure.
Every problem.
Hemp.
That these pharmaceuticals are trying to remedy.
Hemp is the number one thing that will purify your. Here's the thing with hemp, between hemp and what is also known under that same classification as marijuana plants. A marijuana plant gives off 100 times more oxygen than a tree. It also repairs the soil. This is why, they tell you that you can grow that stuff.
That is fact.
And you could repair all the damage by just opening these fields up, growing hemp, which is used for rope. It's used for clothing. It's used for this, and it heals the soil. There are plants there that are made to heal the soil and bring those things back in. But once again, where monocropping is one thing, which is one of the things we're looking to do.
You need a food forest.
When we get our ranch and stuff like that, is food forest. Exactly. Actually, my wife is friends with several people. She's from California, one of the successful nationally known food forests.
If we could get rid of Codex
in California,
we would save the climate. We'd save it.
But instead, they're arresting people who are growing marijuana. I mean,
exactly.
Oh my God, they arrested.
Well, once again, you know what the reason behind how it passed being an illegal drug by the DEA or by Congress was the fact that, and I'm going to use the quote the senator did, we got to stop these niggers from using this drug from stealing our white women. And that is on the record. That is on the congressional record.
1937, that's what they had to scare the white people. And that's exactly what it was. It was to create fear. And it had to do was Durst had bought 50,000 acres of pine forest to turn into pine pulp paper. Now, what we're using for paper, our Constitution is written on hemp paper. And hemp paper was cheaper to mill than pulp paper. Pine pulp paper.
This country was built off of the back of hemp. It was. In the very beginning, the colonies.
Listen, all those ships and everything else, all the ropes they would tie off with, secure with, everything else, made of 100%.
Well,
hemp.
then you had the cotton farmers because, how many of you knew that the Revolutionary War uniforms were made of hemp? And one of the largest growers of hemp, George Washington. The largest distiller in America, George Washington. I can back everything I say up with fact.
Here's another interesting tidbit.
Here's the thing, guys. It comes down to this. You cannot legally make a profit in the United States using something God made or from nature. You cannot get a patent off of it, and you cannot do it. So your formula, if it's all natural, is not able to get a patent.
There's a lot that goes into
There's
that.
The big
There's
thing.
a lot of reasons that goes into that. It goes back to it's the abolition of private property. It's Codex Alimentarius. I don't know if you know what that is, but that is the banning of nutrients, man.
Yep.
They classified nutrients as a industrial pollutant, and they didn't have any legal authority. So to give it some legal standing, they made some sort of commission, within our government and all these things.
Well, this goes back to, if you're going to talk about that, you're going to talk about petroleum-based medicine.
That's where I'm getting to is that
all the way
the natural medicine, they replaced that with pharmaceuticals. And anytime that you would find a natural medicine, anytime anybody would find a cure to something, what they would do is the pharmaceutical companies would come in and suppress that hardcore.
Yeah, that was Rockefeller.
And then they would lobby against them within the legislature.
Rockefeller.
Yeah, Dr. Davis and I have already brought this evidence all the way to the steps of Congress. All this evidence that we have compiled going all the way back before the 30s. on
been
this.
poisoning us for 100 years.
Yeah.
Listen here. I'm from the I'm in the Appalachian area is what I'm considered, and we have right here in the Appalachian area we have the most potent natural antibiotic in the entire world that grows here wildly. It's also known as yellow root, and some people call it golden seal. But the root itself is the strongest known antibiotic in the world, naturally grown. But it's also on the endangered plant list. I wonder why.
So do this little experiment. Take your water. Here's one experiment. Take your water, and what you'll do is you'll have you'll have reverse osmosis water, and then you'll set it next to tap water.
Yeah.
And then you come over here and you take 2 identical plants that are planted, and you water one with the tap water and one with the reverse osmosis water, and watch which one dies first.
Yeah.
I usually water plants with the rainwater.
Listen,
that is one of the best ways to water your
that's
plants.
why. Yeah, rainwater, and that's why a lot of them don't want you to collect it.
There you see,
it's something that's natural. It's pure. You can drink it.
Anything that might say,
yeah,
right.
Well, look at the people in Washington State and in California that were arrested for collecting rainwater. Is that,
yes,
never?
Arizona.
That would be Agenda 21.
Same thing.
Mother Earth's surface shall not be scratched. Yep. It's also why we're not part of the UN no more.
What we're beginning to see, listen, what we're beginning to see is since the reverse of the Chevron doctrine, you're looking at the mass over 40 years of corruption and then some, as well as we blew the story on the epidurals with the nurses were given, and then CPS coming in and stealing kids right after they had an epidural, and then having a drug test and saying that the mother was on drugs. Yeah, and so, well, exactly the point. They were getting it from the hospitals, administering through that. And when we made the point of it, saying they blew the whistle on it, saying, go look at the ingredients of an epidural. And then what they tested positive for, it's the same fucking drug we just gave them. Of course, them and the baby have it. You're doing it while you're inducing labor. We blew the huge whistle on that, and everybody had a fit. As well as there was people talking about that they were actually doing pre-screening in major metropolitan areas for people to steal kids from the hospital just based off of a screening process on whether or not they could fight for that baby because of what they get per child of a baby. And they actually have people screening. All they have to do is call. I'm a mandatory reporter. I believe they're on drugs or this or that, and they don't. All they have to do is have that accusation. And they'll come right into there and steal the baby. No court order, no warrant, no nothing, no evidence, all fucking hearsay and stealing children out of hospitals,
Jail
working with
trying
the
to
hospital.
save my daughter. Okay, there was a girl. I was locked down into medical. Started freaking out or whatever. But the girl next to me was pregnant as pregnant can be. All right, I come to find out that she was actually having this baby to give to child protection services. So like. And she was like, she was.
They're paying. Listen, they're paying them. In some of these inner cities, they will offer them a cash thing to sign over their baby at birth on single mothers, especially teenage mothers.
And people are upset that Donald Trump wanted to protect women's rights. Wow.
Oh, there's rumors of it going around that we're actually investigating that Planned Parenthood is actually doing this for those that
I did a video about that 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, we've already defunded them.
Yeah.
So that's already that. But the investigation, I'm telling you, you're going to see a lot. It might come out slow, but Kash Patel is all over it, and so is Pam Bondi. This has all been brought up. Not only is that in focus, but you're going to start hearing more about judges going to prison.
Well, I hope so.
You guys,
Yeah, I got.
Rick, you have no idea.
Hold up, everybody. Whoa. Rick, go ahead. What do you mean by that, Rick?
Which one? That I was the master at putting judges in prison? I am.
Yeah, I know you are. What do you mean? Why don't more judges go to?
More judges are going to start seeing themselves behind bars, and it's all going to be. It's going to all be coming out, and I think.
Well, I can tell you 17 of them I know directly are going to be taken out.
In the Third Circuit in Dixie County, Florida, the Jacksonville FBI and the AG or whatever was.
I got my boys working on it.
Those judges. Those judges are the ones who have.
You have one of the boys right here trying to give us the information, but everyone's talking, no one's listening.
I mean, if you're not arresting Judge Jennifer Johnson, then you definitely need to. That's all I can say.
I've got 5 that are in my hit list right now. Okay, and these judges, everything that. And you know that Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, she was the one that froze my bank accounts and has been after me seriously. I do have a few sheriffs that are paying attention. And I have Sheriff Darleaf, who has basically had my 6. We both filed against what's her name?
Dana. Her oath of office violation, by the way.
Yeah. Dana Nessel, we got her, Sheriff Darleaf of Berry County and I both captured, and we will not return it. We have it as evidence, Dominion voting machine, and then we filed against Dana Nessel, the Attorney General, for election fraud. So, yeah, I'm not really liked. That's why I had to get the hell out of Michigan. I can't tell you how many assassination attempts I went.
Right.
Escaped.
Yeah, I know. I hate living here.
That was all the grace of God. I mean, they threw me in jail. They stole my.
And more election fraud, because this is the same thing we're saying. Exactly. It's a pattern.
Gretchen Whitmer violated her oath to the United States Constitution when she signed that state plan.
Right.
Rick has said forever the only way to get rid of these people is to go after their oaths of office and their insurance bonds. Rick's been saying
you don't need the paper though.
You got to get the county charter.
Did you guys check the break?
Go after the county.
It's funny you say that.
If you can get your,
you only need the paper for the bond.
Hold on, everybody. Rick.
The first step in going after the bonds is you got to get the county charter, the township charter, or the municipal charter. And then what you do is you go through it with a highlighter and you show all their violations. That's something we can talk about on another time, or you can get with me and I can put a whole packet together on how to do it correctly. Okay, I know Mickey Klon. She was a friend of mine and a student. We both were in the golf world together, and she went with bonds for the win, but she missed the important step. She went all on these talks, how you're going to stop it, and I said, without having the county charter or the township charter and showing how they violated their bond, you can't get the bond. You have to bring forth the evidence, and then they have to dispute it in a sworn affidavit, which they won't be able to do. Then you give them 72 hours to remedy the problem, or you go after their bonds. That's how
they probably won't be able to do.
No. The one thing that you guys got to understand, when you get their bonds, what happens? It's not like an insurance policy. So I get in a car accident, right? I just pay my deductible and the insurance company covers me and the guy I've injured, right? In a bond, the bond company indemnifies me, makes me whole again. Then the bond company goes after the judge, prosecutor, or dirty cop or CPS agent for the bond, the whole amount. That's how you take their houses, their swimming pools. That's how you do it.
Now, with the oath, if they're a public official, they have
do it.
I didn't.
Well, let me ask you this: can you obtain those things with a federal subpoena if you're actively involved in a, we'll say, or filing a federal civil case? Can you demand those either under, is that under a FOIA act and or a
Going to be
subpoena,
under a
or
FOIA
what?
request. Now they have to. You have to give them 5 days to respond on it. And what happens a lot of times when I'm doing a FOIA request, and Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch, he's really good at getting FOIAs done, but they'll always ask for an extra 5 days, hoping that you'll go away. And then they started charging $6 a page. I mean, they're doing everything they can to keep this out of your hands.
Yeah, they did.
They're gonna redact half the stuff, kind of like what Pam Bondi went through. I've got, and Darren will tell you, I've got the Epstein flight logs, and I've got the black book.
Yep. So do I. Yep.
And
So let's go over this.
Whoa,
one more time.
Hold up, Benny. Go ahead, Benny. Benny's been waiting patiently.
I was just gonna say, when you were talking about their oaths of office there, that exactly is what I'm doing tomorrow, because I already told my attorney, I said, I want his oath of office. And if he does not have that oath of office to show, this case is over and done with.
right.
I am walking.
And then you have to get that anti-bribery statement as well, and a copy of
That
the.
they likely do not have because they likely forgot where they put it or something.
No,
But the bigger news for all of you is that I just got off the phone with Rick before I went and took a shower, and I already talked to Darren, so Darren kind of knows what's going on. There's a great chance that I could be walking home with my kids either tomorrow or Thursday.
I'm really hopeful for you, man. You've been fighting a long fight, man.
You know, Danielle is going to pick up her son tomorrow, I think. So they're
I'm
coming.
proud of
to
you,
get
Ben.
us.
So Rick, you said town charter, oath of office, anti-bribery statement. What are the other things to look for? Just to keep it on focus here.
well, the main thing that you want to focus in on is getting their oath of office and their bond. Those are two very major deals, and you also want to get the town charter and see what's required for them to hold that office. If they don't have an oath of office, if they don't have a bond, in most jurisdictions, they're holding that seat unlawfully. And what they're doing is they're basically impersonating an officer of the court, which is a felony.
Boom! Everything this man's telling you it's 100% true. Yep.
Awesome.
So
You're completely correct, Rick.
Well, I appreciate your confidence. And like I said, you guys want to get with me, I'm going to have to step off, and you guys can email me. Put my email up there in the chat, but I'm sure Darren can get you in contact with me. It's best to try to email me than phone me, because I go through so many God blessed phone calls, and now I've got to the point where if I don't know the number and you don't leave me a text, I don't call right back. But if you leave me a text and I read it, I'm usually right back in touch with you if you got an issue. It got to the point where I cannot answer my phone like I was before.
Can you just say what your email is? Because I didn't see it in the chat.
Okay, it's
right here.
Let's just go back to Brenda.
Okay. Okay,
Private
all right,
chat.
thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you. I got it.
But thank you, Rick.
Now,
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to jump off. Like I said, I got some other things. I just saw that you're on, and I had in quite some time, and I figured it'd be good to just pop in and say hello, give you guys some. And on top of that, I want to get a lot of documents in your hand that I've been working on for the past 6 months. That's another thing before I jump off. When you start doing your paperwork, this is what I'm trying. I'm redoing a lot of my paperwork. Okay, when you start seeing the way these things are headed, okay, like say me, I'm a trustor. I can either be the trustor accused, never used defendant. I'm either the trustor accused or I'm the trustor claimant. Now, what these courts have been doing is they've been usurping and trying to play the people of New Jersey, the people of Texas. They're not the people of Texas. They're not the state of Texas. They're trustees for the trustor. The other thing that you guys got to get, I told you about, is I can't download it for you, but you can get the download when you look into the archives. I can get you that link as well, and that's for the handbook. It's 700 pages. I love how they call it a handbook, but it's the March 21st, 1923, the handbook on the law of trust by law professor George Gleason Bogert.
That sounds like a good book.
That is something you've got to get in your hands, and you can't try to digest it all at once. It's very intense. I skip around from different sections because it does have a table of contents and tells you which pages to go to. So when you download it on your computer, you can bounce around the way I do and take notes with what you're reading. Always take notes of what you're reading. So, you're not going to retain everything, but if you take notes on the important things, especially when they start talking about the Sesticate Trust and the creators of trust, the trustees, the trustors, it's very compelling.
We'll make sure we get that out there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I didn't over talk myself, but definitely get back with you guys, and I'm just happy you guys are in the. God bless each and every one of you, and hey, make America God's nation again.
Amen to that.
Amen.
Man, I love myself some Rick Martin, man.
Very intelligent, man. Very eloquent.
You guys know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
You
guys
powerful.
know who Rick Martin is?
I do now.
Yeah,
Did you guys see the breaking news on the American Bar Association and Trump's announcement?
What's that? Let's hear this news. Yes.
What's Trump's?
Oh, well, here, let me just spin
it up.
Here we go, boys and girls.
There are 3 simple changes I tell all virus patients to make. Number 1, you have to start drinking more water. You wouldn't believe how dehydrated.
Stupid commercials.
My computer's doing it too, man.
Get bad. Here we go.
Ad City.
If I can.
Ooh.
This is several Republican senators are raising a stink about the American Bar Association and to have it removed, especially from the judicial nomination process entirely. In other words,
no more lawyers putting judges in charge.
no more magistrates. You're talking about them not being able to appoint other attorneys as magistrates as well in that same category, executive branch.
No more ALJs.
None of it gone.
Guardian ad litem's a violation of parental rights. We're set up for success, brother.
Let's scroll through this.
He's giving it back to the people to see what they can do with it and whether they're capable of doing it or
Yep.
not.
It's our turn.
Prove them wrong. We the people.
That's it.
It's our turn.
Less government, no government. That's not what they're there for. We are the government. There's been the big definition. Well, the government. We the people are the government. These are elected and appointed officials and actors.
Yeah,
no
that's
more.
what I did never get is how can they call us? They say, you're anti-government. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
Exactly. 100%.
I'm not anti-government.
That's something you have to watch, especially with what we do. But you guys have to watch the legalities of this too. Because using the word government of saying, hey, we want to overthrow or take out, this section of government or that can actually be a form of terroristic threat.
Except for
let's
all
make
of
it
those
clear.
particular statutes refer to the overthrow of our constitutional form of government. And that would be Article 4, Section 4 Republic. By and for the people.
Yeah, and so we're...
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're talking about, listen, guys, we're talking about removal of people that are being elected and appointed that are not following the Constitution.
Period.
Bottom line. That's what we, the people, are asking for, is to hold them, one, remove all of them, two, hold them accountable for the crimes they've committed against this country and against the people.
And they're already being arrested.
Bottom line.
Some of them.
It's just the beginning. Just the beginning.
But it's a big one.
Trust me. I don't know, Darren. You think it's big enough?
I mean, it's obviously.
Seems pretty
Yeah.
big.
So, guys, we're going to see it till something, like I said, and something is coming that is going to shatter all these little hits and misses to the point of we got you. And it's just a matter of time before it comes out. And when it does, it is going to awaken this country of the mass amount of people. You can call it deep state, you can call it the corporation, whatever it is. The stuff they've been imposing on us, because all these codes, rules, and regulations are only meant for government employees and people that work for the government and serve in the government. They're not for us.
This came here from overseas by the Hague Convention. We're not a part of that anymore. We left the UN.
Yeah. And people have to slowly wake up. Imagine if, let's put it this way, and Vinny and I and Darren have all talked about this several times in private conversation, that you cannot rip the Band-Aid off the amount of illegal, evil, everything else all at once. You got to take it off a little bit at a time.
The wound still bleeds.
Because the average American psychological person could not take and handle what is about to happen all at once, step by step, so you get used to it. Because why? They're actually working on deprogramming you
and fixing the government.
Exactly what they're working on. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I'm excited to have people like that. Our voices are being heard, guys. And guys, I'm going to tell you this. Brenda, Obsidian, Darren, Vinny, I'm going to be one to tell you guys, thank you for all you do. Even though we don't hear it enough, and sometimes a lot of what we do with volunteering, we're not. It's a thank you.
Thank you too, Gunner. You do a good job too,
guys.
buddy.
I want to tell you how much we appreciate you guys, all of you, and all you guys out there for following and spreading the word. I'm thankful for all you guys too, because without us, we the people, this does nothing. And this is what they scare, is us coming together.
They're scared of nullification. They're scared of us coming together and taking our guns, standing, not using them, but having them there to say, if you step over the line, that's what this is for.
It's time to start handing out void aboriginals all over the place.
It's time to start using your vote.
All right, guys, let's do some last words. Let's do them. Let's do the last words.
All right, I will. Set my people free. I said, set my people free. Like, my family is in bondage. God, help us all.
Obsidian, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll do a quick one. Lord God, we thank you for this time together. We thank you for this fellowship. We thank you for this fight, even though that we have to endure it to get back to our children. We know that this is a lesson that we were meant to learn. We were meant to find our way home. And we were meant to find our way back to what you gave us, Lord. And we just hope and pray that under Psalm 8:2, that we be your avenger and your justice when it comes to the voices that can't be heard, the children, the silenced, the oppressed. And we just pray, Lord God, that you help us be something that frees them from the chains that bind them. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Gunnar.
Guys, I know some of you have been fighting for a long time, some a little bit shorter than others, some longer than others. But do one thing, don't give up hope. If you've got issues with depression or anything like that, or you're just so overwhelmed, please reach out for help. Please don't give up yet. The light is coming. Trust me. Some of you that may be religious or whatever it may be, it was always a promise that was given. It is better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and to jump into the middle of the deepest sea than it is to harm children. And that day of reckoning is coming, and it's coming very soon. And all that will be, all those that took and did this and pulled the wolves and did these things to us are going to be held accountable. But your voices are the most important thing that needs to be heard. Guys, don't give up hope. Know your rights. Educate your rights. It's all coming apart. The Department of Education, Department of Health and Human Services, Social Security, all of this is being looked at, and it's all coming to light one step at a time. Don't give up hope, and encourage others that are going through the same fight not to give up hope, and encourage each other. Share the knowledge, share the information, but give the support.
Oh yeah, Vincent.
I everywhere I spread the word.
Hope you guys all have a great night. Stay safe. Keep me in your thoughts tomorrow, for I'm headed to court first thing early in the morning, and I will be there all day. The both of us. So keep us in your thoughts, because we got a good chance in hell of taking these people down. And tomorrow I also follow my federal lawsuit. So.
Yeah, and get with me too, Ben.
All right.
Yep, we'll do.
Do that. Yeah, good luck tomorrow, Vinny.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everybody too, just like Gunnar says, but I want to thank all you guys too for putting up with these shows. I know we do them for free. And, you know I don't pay anybody for this stuff, but I'm glad that you guys are here. Thank you guys very much for all that you do to get all these viewers on here, because Lord knows I didn't have this many viewers when it was by myself. So I know it all comes from what you guys do here. And it's great, from Brenda's show to your show, Gunnar, to Vinny's stuff, to you, Obsidian. These people don't get this information if we don't get out here and do this. So I want to thank everybody for all that they put in. And that being said, I'm CPS Punisher. We are
Brenda back at 3 o'clock tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Brenda's back. That's right.
Thanks for everybody in the chat.
Thank you.
Getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Found your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate, don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate the values of our country, and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lion not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. 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 One day, one day, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they mightest feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calmed. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.